Hello and welcome to our second video, using DocNow tools to complete your social media archiving journey in 3 steps. Documenting Now has created a suite of open source tools to ethically collect, archive, and share social media content. This video will walk you through the workflow between 3 user-friendly tools that help you complete your social media archiving journey: DocNow, the Hydrator, and the Catalog. Step 1 is to collect and download content with the DocNow app. If you haven't done so already, please watch our DocNow 1.0 user demonstration video to learn how the DocNow app works. Once you have collected all the data you want, you download an archive of a collection from the DocNow app in the Saved Searches page. To download an archive, you must first turn the search off and then click Create Archive. This may take a few moments if your collection is large. When the archive is ready, the button changes to Download Archive. The archive includes 5 files. Let's review these files in detail now. The index.html is a simple bare-bones tweet viewer. It works by linking up to Twitter and displaying all of the tweets that are still available on Twitter's website, so it will only function if you are connected to the internet. The views here are similar to the Insights page on the DocNow app and are in beta mode. We are looking for feedback on what could be useful to see in this viewer. You'll see there are many JavaScript files. The data.json file includes a description of your collection as a JSON file for use as data in other contexts, such as when you want to read the data using a programming language like Python or R. The data.js and 2 main.js files make the tweet viewer work, so make sure to keep them in the same folder as the viewer. You don't need to open them. The final file is the ids.txt file, and this is your key to the Twitter data you've collected. Due to the Twitter Developer API policy, DocNow cannot provide a third party, you, the DocNow user, with a CSV of Twitter data. I'll explain more on that in a moment when we get to our Hydrator tool. While full content is not allowed to be shared, tweet IDs, which are unique identifiers of every tweet ever written, can be shared. Now let's take our ids.txt file and turn them into tweets. Step 2 of your journey is to hydrate your tweet IDs back into full tweets using DocNow's Hydrator desktop application. Follow the instructions on the link to install the Hydrator desktop application on your computer. DocNow built Hydrator as a tool to access Twitter data while complying with Twitter's terms of service, which include the right to be forgotten. This right means that if a user deletes a tweet on Twitter, it should also be removed from any dataset before sharing. The Hydrator accomplishes this task through a simple upload callback process and provides you with information about the removed tweets. Let's upload a set of IDs. First, we'll go to the Add tab at the top of the application to upload an ids.txt file. Here you can add some basic metadata, which will help you keep track of hydrated collections as you add them over time. Now click Start to start the hydration process. It is important to select a good permanent location for your files on your local computer, since Hydrator will track the files for you as long as you do not move them. You can see my 2 previously hydrated collections have the CSV button grayed out. That is because I deleted the local files. I don't know if you caught this, but you could see that the tweets were hydrating in real time. Note that if you have a large number of tweets, this process can take a while. Once the file has been hydrated, you can download your full tweets as a CSV. You can also click on the title of the dataset to see the percentage of tweets that were deleted from Twitter and therefore not able to be hydrated. You see that number there, 922 were hydrated. Here's the information that you can see. We have an 8% deletion rate with this collection. Tweets get deleted from Twitter for many reasons. Users delete them, users close their accounts, or the account could be removed or disabled by Twitter. Anecdotally, we have noticed that deletion rates rise over time, so it may be useful for you to hydrate upon download from DocNow or any other collecting tool you may have used for archival purposes, and then rehydrate each time you want to share the dataset with others. Now let's look at your resulting CSV. You can see that there are over 30 pieces of metadata given via the Twitter API. We have our created at date, the hashtags that were used, any media that was added, URLs that were added, the Twitter ID, which is the important information for actually getting to that tweet, whether or not it was a reply. So you can see the reply information down here, our language, whether or not it is sensitive, a retweet count, the retweet ID and retweet screen name, if there is one. And then you have the text here and the URL here. And then you also have a bunch of user information. So when the user was created, their screen name, their description, their accounts, favorites, followers, their following, the lists that they might be on and their locations. You also have the number of statuses that they've posted. So there's a lot of information that you can access through the Twitter API and then do your research with. And now let's go to step 3, publishing your collection for others to use. You may have a repository to ingest your social media collection into, but we hope that you will also add your collection to the DocNow catalog. The catalog is a collectively curated list of Twitter datasets where you can share your tweet IDs with other researchers in just a few short steps. The catalog is built on the content management system called Netlify. You will need to set up an account to add your collection. Start by clicking Add Record and follow the prompts. There are basic required fields and some optional fields as well. One thing to note is that the catalog is a repository of records about datasets. It does not hold the datasets themselves. If you do not have an institutional repository, we suggest adding datasets to GitHub or the Internet Archive. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing your collections and hearing your feedback.